Hello, Tony. I hope all is well. This will be some milestone feedback for you, primarily on the animated banner. Good job. I want to acknowledge all your experience too, and thank you for bringing that into the discussion board. I appreciate seeing that too in your reflection on the differences between the RGB and the CMYK color spaces. Tony, this is masterful, and let me back it up to the beginning here and let it go, rip again. Nicely organized. I really appreciate the way you have assembled your layers. And your sequence, you've got, it looks like you have tweening between keyframes, set to, 2-second intervals, and then it speeds up here, which is nice. Now, it looks great. I really appreciate that you use the clone stamp tool to make an effective background image. I also like the BOGO type treatment, where you've applied, I think I mentioned that too, applied the, what was it, banana leaves? Let's see, hopefully we'll get there soon. Here we go. There we go. Let me stall it right at that point. Now, one thing I noticed was that it seems to be pixelated. And did you use diffusion dithering? I don't think it would need to be that strong or pronounced. I think, and I'm speaking to a pro here, so pardon me if I'm sounding pedantic or pretentious or presumptuous. But I think under your image, you could probably, now I realize that for quick downloading, this is great. You've limited to a number of colors, but I'm just thinking it looks a little grainy, and perhaps you could have used, what other kind of dithering could you have used? Well, I'm not going to, whatever you could do to make it a little smoother transition. And, but that's great. And I like this accent color because it shows up elsewhere. This yellow, orange. Egg yolk color shows up in the, let me continue on here, in the palm trees and elsewhere. We had talked a little bit about spacing these caps. I don't think you need to vary the size. I think to repeat it maybe in this size and let her space it out, quite generously. I think in the example I had shown last week, the student's work, she had used all caps Arial, and she had spaced them out quite a bit. They look better that way. I know, well, look better. I appreciate the emphasis, though, that you get and how it builds up to it. And then there's that call to action, to book now. So your timeline looks great. Looks like you mastered that. You remember to bring everything on layers. And let's see what else I can see about this. Know that you can get really clean or smooth transitions too, and you can use some of these tools down here. For example, if you select this as a keyframe, and then you can insert some frames between that and the next layer or next frame, and you can select layers or be judiciously. You don't have to select them all, and then you can insert some transitional frames too, which will make it grade. I'm not sure if I did anything there, but if you want smooth transitions, they're possible using GIF animations. Great job. I really don't have much to say. Just keep looking back at I like the simplicity of it. For example, this arrangement, really clear. I think your typography is good, basically good, but think about limiting the number of positions of it. Perhaps if this type, let's see, how does that look? If this call to action was aligned with Amethyst Bay, so Amethyst Bay could fade out, and then in the same cap height, St. Thomas could perhaps fade in. If you keep positioning of ingredients consistent from frame to frame, it will seem smoother and I think more organized. And what else can I say? I'm sure I'll think of other things to comment on, but great job. Glad to see it.